Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well and having a beautiful day. Well, in today's tutorial I've got two things to tell you. Number one, I've just got a text saying I've got to go pick up Jackson. He is getting groomed. Well, he is finished getting groomed, so I'm going to show you what he looks like. Normally he looks really skinny when all his hair is shaved off, and it'll be nice to share with you what he looks like fresh out of the groomers. All right, the second thing is that we're going to be using some scraps today. I've got a few scraps, voila, here, and this one with a little bit of background fabric, and I'm going to be making the Providence block. Now normally the Providence block you would have Y seams with it, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to use half square triangles and some hourglasses to get it all done. Now, I have been making separate blocks each week, and I'm planning to put them in a quilt at some point, but obviously I will share that with you. I think we're up to number 6 sort of random blocks that I've been making and sharing with you guys. So I'm planning to probably go up to 9. I don't want to make it too big. Excuse me. So that is the idea of actually doing that. Okay, so what else do I got to tell you before I shoot off and get Jackson? Oh, I am actually working on another quilt. And guys, I have so many projects going at the moment. I don't usually do that, to be honest. I always wait till I finish one before I start the next. But for some reason, I've got like 3 quilts, and that's the text reminding me again. 3 quilts in the making, literally in the making. And my brain is like, which one should I tackle first? Should I go to this one? Should I go to that one? I am currently quilting 2 and constructing 1. So how did I end up here? I really don't know. But anyway, that is the intro. I hope you're well. I'm going to shoot off now. And when I come back, we will simply get started on the Providence block. All right. So if you've got some scraps, just grab them together. Wait for me and I will be back. I'll show you Jackson when I come back as well. A scrawny Jackson. Hello, skinny person. Hello, skinny person. Was he good?
Oh yeah. I mean, for him.
Yeah, I know. For him, yeah.
He let me do everything.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it first this time because I knew he wasn't going to like it.
Okay.
So I thought if I get them done, get him out of the way, then he can calm down and...
He just looks so different when he's cut. I'd be so amazed.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
His
hair was so curly too.
Yes, he's got,
hair.
very, very curly hair, but nice and soft though,
yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
really soft, yeah.
Jackson, look at you. Oi, look at you. You look so tiny. Where's all your fur gone? You look so different. All right. I'm not leaving you, don't worry, you're not driving. Hello. Alrighty then, let's go. You gonna be good? You need to sit. I'll put your seatbelt on. Jackson has become very, I don't know, give me some ideas guys, because he started, because we've had the kitchen revamp. It's not completed yet. I've actually recorded a whole change around for the kitchen to show you guys. But, excuse me, he has become very, since the builders came in, he's become very withdrawn with his food because he's making a mess. He wouldn't eat at his place. I have to sit with him. So I'm sitting on the steps here with him for him to eat. And he doesn't like... He doesn't like boxed food and stuff, which is, yeah, well, that's another conversation. So I cook food for him. I make all his meals. But I think it was 2 days ago, he, this is like just before the whole project almost came to an end with the kitchen, he just wouldn't eat. He wouldn't eat at all. I don't know, Carl said he's a bit unsettled because of all the people that's been in the house, different smells and everything else. but he would not eat unless I sit next to him for him to eat his food, and he wouldn't eat it at his station, so I have to sit on the stairs here with him. So I don't know, I'm hoping this phase actually passes, and he's been very picky with his food. So he wouldn't eat like box food or dog food or anything like that. And I don't like giving him canned food because that is awful. So I cooked his food for him. So I just made him some scrambled eggs and bacon, and he loves that. So yeah. Jackson, where you going? Come back. Oi. You done? It's finished, sweetie. You've cleaned it all already. It's finished. Good. Clean up your mess. So anyway, any ideas of how to get him back to normal, let me know. But check out his new haircut. He looks so skinny and his face looks really different. Anyway, let's get back to work. All right, so let's get started. So I have my ingredients, i.e. my fabric here. And as I said, I'm using some scraps. So when I say scraps, it really is. It's just leftover, okay? And this as well, and with this one. Now, what's important with the Providence block, I think traditionally it comes with cream, but again, you can, when I say cream, sort of cream and red, I think those are the sort of traditional colors it flows with. Nevertheless, I have a red floral here, and I have the different colors of background, but I am going to use them anyway, all right? And I'm going to introduce a bit of a blue there. I think will work really nicely with the red, and of course the background pinkish white. So that is what I'm going for. Now, it's a very much a traditional block. I can't remember the year. I think 1923, if my memory serves me correct. And also, traditionally it was made with wide seams. So we're not going to do that today. We're not going to do any wide seams. To be honest, I'm not one of these people that are afraid of wide seams. To me, it is what it is. You know, what I want you to gain confidence with is that it shouldn't matter how the block is constructed, as long as the instructions is clear and you can see what you're doing. All right, so we're going to dive in using our scraps of fabric. This is beautiful one block wonder, and you should be able to get repeated patterns throughout once you've made this into a quilt. Very beautiful block, I may add. So I'm taking my squares here and I'm going to draw from point to point. I'm going to be making some hourglasses for this one. We also need to make some half square triangles, of which I would briefly demonstrate. But just as a reminder, if you haven't made hourglasses, we're going to make 2 at a time hourglasses. So all I've got is my pieces of fabric here, my background color and one of my main colors. I've lined them up, front sides together as normal, and I'm going to draw a line from point to point diagonally as we would when we are doing half square triangles. Let me get my longer ruler, because I hate having to move the ruler down. So the longer the ruler for me, the better. So diagonally, front sides together. And again, I'm not using a heat erasable pen because this drawn line is going to become my cut line. All right, we're going to sew on either side of this drawn line. Now, what's important to look forward here is to make sure that both fabrics is really front sides together and they are lined up edge to edge properly. We don't want it shifting. All right, so I'm going to stitch on either side 1/4 inch seam as you would when you are making half square triangles. So I'll be back in a second. All right, I'm back now. I've drawn on either side of the line a 1/4 inch seam, and I'm going to cut. Thank you very much, Jackson. I really wanted to hear that noise. Okay, so I'm going to cut as I pick up my rotary cutter here, and I just remembered that I wanted to mention yet again that the rotary blades are, the offer is still available. If you have not taken them up, I'll put a link in the description box. And in case you don't know what I'm talking about, I recently got myself some titanium rotary blades, and I have been using them for some time now, and I reached out to the company and asked them if I could have a discount code or coupon for my subscribers. I am just finger pressing to the dark side, and they did respond and give me I think it was 75% discount. So you will get the blades. They're very sharp, and I just really wanted to share it with you because I just feel that, you know, what's the point in being able to work with companies and not get a discount for you guys when we all do quilting? So they agreed. So I'm going to put a link in the description box. But not only that, what I've decided is that I would like to give away one of my packs. Okay, hold on 1 second. So they come in packs of 10. So I've already opened this one, and I have this unopened one here. They're very sharp. What I love about them is that they're nicely oiled in between, so they don't dry out and the blades don't get dull. And they've got a weight to them as well, so just be very careful when you use them. They are very, very sharp. And in order for you to know that you are buying the right ones, it actually says Fabric Hut in the middle of them, so you can't go wrong, as well as the casing have their logo on them. I know a few of you have already bought and shared it with me that you did pick them up, so well done to you. And someone, can't remember her name, did reach out to me and said she already uses them, and she swears by it. She said they're really, really good, and I've seen other quilters here on YouTube talk about them as well, and so one of the reasons why I decided was to get them. So anyway, please download, go to the site. You'll actually see, I'll put a link in the description box, and you'll actually see my name come up, and it will actually, because it's only for my subscribers, so nobody else would use it. So you will actually see it for Karen subscribers only, so it's really just for you guys. So, but as I said, I am going to give this away, and if you would like to have it, I can't really think of a reason to ask you why you would like to have it, but you know, just, you know, the first 10-15 people after seeing this, I'm just going to put your name in a little bag, and sorry, a little bag or a box or something, and just dip it out, and whoever name comes out, and I'll do it on camera as well. Whoever name comes out is the person who's actually going to receive it, and I'll send it off to you. And do let me know when you receive it. But it's really beautiful, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised at how weighty these are. Titanium blades. All right. Okay, so let's get back to the video. So once you finger press these and they've opened, we now need to lay them opposite sides. So we're going to lay them front sides again together. But what we want is that we don't want it to be, and I repeat, we do not want it to be like for like. We do not want it like that. We want the red top the white, and the white on top the red, okay? And at this stage, you will make sure that you nest it down properly and it's really lined up, okay? Because we want it to be measured correctly. We want that once we cut it open, we will be able to see the quarter square triangles are equal, as well as all the points meet in the middle there accurately. We don't want it to show off in the sense that it's offline. That will indicate that you didn't take time at this stage. All right. So, I mean, with quilting, there are times when you need to just slow down and, you know, take your time with certain blocks, because we want the professionalism to show through in the block formation. All right, so just line it up properly. And what I tend to do is just put a pin just so that it doesn't stay, because you know fabric is annoying, right? They like to move. It will only move once you touch it and just take it simply to the sewing machine, and before you know it, it's out of alignment. So just pin it as a precaution, because I'm sure I'll be hearing you shouting out a swear word all the way here in Australia. I'm positive of it. All right. Another measure you could make is to make sure that the seams nest here, as I said. And another thing you can do, just fold it back, and you can see it's lined up. Let me just move the pin down a little bit. Right, so once you've aligned properly, if you fold it back, you can see it's lined up properly. So just those 3 sort of things, steps to do before you start cutting and sewing. Nice. So what the next stage now, before I move on actually, what I did with the first block that I made, I literally pressed it open. Before I pinned, I pressed it open, but I finger pressed, which I believe is okay. Right, so I'm going to line up again properly, and I'm just going to put a little bit of my finger on it, make sure it's done properly. And what I am going to do now is to draw another line, okay, diagonally. Now, let me repeat this. Do not draw a line where the seam line is. It may sound stupid, but sometimes without thinking, we may just simply draw a line on top of that seam line and cut it. We're not doing that. We're drawing a line in the opposite direction, so from point to point, okay? And again, once we've drawn that line, we are now going to stitch on either side of that line, just as we've done before, okay? I didn't get my line straight. Let me do it again. So again, very important. Make sure that line goes from point to point. Don't worry about marking the fabric 2 or 3 times. That is neither here or there. The importance is that you want your block lined up properly. So again, what I'm going to do now is sew on either side of that line, and then we'll open it up, cut it open, and press it apart, trim the doggies. Alright, so let's move on now. So what we're going to do is to take these on the side. I already cut some background squares here, still got a few more cutting to do. Again, all of the details will be in the pattern link down below, and I will put the details on the screen again as a reminder, because some people, you know, they don't necessarily see it, and then they will say to people, where is the pattern? All right, so the patterns are always in the description box down below. For people who are my members, they usually get it free. So if you'd like to join the channel, you just need to click the second link down below where it says join this channel, and you will get your patterns for free. Alright, so let's cut this open now. And what I want to say before I cut is that when you are sewing, just ensure that you line up the edge of your 1/4 inch seam on the drawn line, yeah? That's the importance here. Alright, so now I'm going to cut on that drawn line. Now, as I said, this is a beautiful block for a 1-block wonder. And when I say that, I mean as an all-over pattern, okay? Also, it is also a beautiful block that will give you lots of other patterns as well. And it's also a brilliant block to chain piece, which means that you can get all your cuts together quickly, and then you can just sit there and sew, chain piece them all, and it will go by very quickly. I think sometimes the key to quilting is organization. Yeah, so you can cut one day and sew the next day, or cut in the morning and start sewing by midday. But as long as you get everything together, it goes by very quickly. For me, I think what makes it long is the quilting. The quilting can be the long part, because to me it's easier to put a quilt top together. Basting for me is quick, it's not a problem, but to me is a quilting. I'm currently quilting here. That's why you see the sewing machine there. And it's a large bed quilt. I'm hoping to finish it by the weekend. And I'm not doing an intricate quilting technique either, but because it's a large bed quilt, it will take some time. But for me, that's the longevity part. Right, okay, so you've got options. All of a sudden, I just started to feel a burst of heat. Normally, if I wasn't on camera, I'd literally strip off this thing off my body already. It would have been off, literally, but I'm on camera. I cannot get naked. But, oh, I hate when it starts on me all of a sudden. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so you need to now press this, and again, I am not going to use any steam. I may put the steam on just to heat up this little iron, because it gets hot very quickly, and then I'll take it off. You've got an option. You can open up your seams, but I'm not going to worry with that. I never really do open up my seams. I just press them to one side and try to get the block as flat as possible. I am going to remove this off now because I don't really like the steam on these small little blocks, because I do find they get distorted very easily. Okay. Okay, so the next step after doing this, what you can do is simply trim your blocks up if it needs trimming, right? And obviously I will tell you the sizes. I'm just going to make sure that it's the same size as the first set that I've actually made. And before I do that, let me show you how the points have met really nice in the middle there. That's the first one, and that's the other one. All right, so I'm just going to put them front sides together and see if they line up properly, and they do. Just got a little bit of excess. I'm just making sure, just a touch of excess right there. So I'm going to just line that up. Now you don't have to do it this way. I am just taking short corners. All right, and let's test this one again. So ideally, it really should come out. This one's fine, and to be honest, that was the amount of trimmings that came off. So really nothing important, because this will be hidden in the seam allowance. But you know, you get into the habit of taking everything off, don't you? All right, so this one is perfect. All right, so I'm going to put this to the side at the moment. The next thing we need to do is to make some half square triangles, and I'm going to do some cuts to make the half square triangles. All right, so we're going to make the half square triangles now. I've got my squares right sides together. I'm going to draw a line as usual and sew on either side of those lines as you would normally, to make 2 at a time half square triangles. So I'll get those sorted out and then I'll be back. Alright, so let's make some half square triangles now. I have chain piece as usual, just so that it goes by very quickly. Let's cut these apart. And we are going to do the same as we usually do. Open them up, cut them, trim them, get to the right size that we need to get to.
me just by mine. Oh,
Alright, so now that we have all the components ready, let's put the block together. So as usual, I like to start in the middle because I think that gives me clarity. And then I am going to move in with my hourglasses and add them like so, all the way around. Now again, it's imperative that you make sure that all of your measurements are correct. And the other one goes there. I'm just going to move this up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Make sure that you're in the shot. Okay, I've changed into my robe so I'm more comfortable. I just needed a relaxation clothing. Right, so the next I've got my other sets of red squares, and again I am going to add it there, as well as all the others. This is going to be a big block. Again, as I said, beautiful one block wonder, but even be nice as a table topper. Alright, the next objective is to add our background there. Beautiful block. I can see I'm loving it already. There, there. And you can see why it's imperative to have everything already cut and ready to go. Right, the next objective now is to add in, am I missing a square? I'm missing a square. I am missing a square. Yep, I am missing a square. How did that happen? Wait a minute, I'm sure I cut the right amount. That's weird. I must have picked it up when I cleaned the table. I must have, because I counted them. Alright, so unless I've doubled up. Have I doubled up? Nope, I haven't. That is weird. I'm sure I counted. Alright, so I'm going to have to cut another one. I thought that was a double there, but no, it isn't. Sugar and spice. Alright, and the next objective now is to add in our blue half square blocks in the corner there, like so. Remember, we want the two blues meeting. We want that pattern together like so. I can't believe I must have thrown it in the fabric bin. I must have done that. I'm gonna have to go have a look now because I'm sure I counted. I'm positive I counted. Oh, I'm gonna do a Jackson. That's a Jackson's move. He just flaps his nose at you. As to say, whatever. Alright guys, so I'm gonna go get that block. And then, oh, I love it. Oh my God. I want to change the camera angle so you can see it better. Or should I just move? Yes, I'm going to have to change the camera angle so that you can see it better. Alright, so fabric in hand. Okay, so fabric in hand now. I had to cut another piece. I looked everywhere. I didn't know where it is. So this is our Providence star. It looks really beautiful, I must admit. I am loving the blue. That sky blue is amazing, and I think it's coming together really lovely with the red and the background color. Now the background white has got a little bit of pink on it, as well as this one. They're very different fabrics, so I'll put the camera closer so you can see it. But I will sew it together. You know what I am wishing right now? I wish I had enough fabric to make a quilt with this particular color. This is scraps here, so that's it. I've only got very little. I don't have any more of this one. I couldn't find this one in the fabric store anymore. I don't know where this one is. I think I bought this over a year ago, so I know there isn't, at the time I bought it wasn't sale. But I'm just loving the colors. The colors are beautiful. It's a lovely star. Very, very beautiful star. And no white seams. So we've made it really beautifully. Love the point you get there. And I love the way how the red has elongated that particular shape there with the red. Looks like an arrow. Looks really nice. I think I'm gonna look up this star actually. I think there was something it had something to do with war, when they came back from the war, I think. My reading, sometimes I read too much and I remember little bits, but I'm confident because it jogs my memory as I spoke of the arrow. I think there was something to do with war, but anyway, it's to do with warrior and I think survivor or savior, something along those lines. But I'll have a quick look on the internet and come back and let you know. But I'm going to sew it together again. We will sew this together as I want to say a 9 patch, but no. All right, so you can do rows or you can do these as a 4 patch here. Let's separate them as a 4 patch, and then this is one long one and join it to one side. Same with this one here, 4 patch there and join it like so. All right, and then that way you could decide, or you can just leave these together and just sew these together. So however you want to break it down so that the brain recognizes it, is entirely down to you, but always break it down so that you know where you're going. So 4 patches, then you can sew these two, bring it together, make it one long row, sew this as a row, sew this together as a 4 patch again, make it a long row, and then sew it together as a 3 row. I hope that makes sense. I know there's a lot of Karen. Okay, I'll stop messing about. So I'm going to sew it together and look up what I said, I'm sure, or unsure, doubting myself now, and I'll see you in about 5 minutes or so. Alright guys, so I wanted to show you Jackson and how much he has lost so much hair. Now I find he looks really different. He doesn't look the normal to me. He looks really small. I mean, he's still very heavy. I think he weighs about 90. I think. No, we're not talking about 90. 10 kilograms is what he weighs. But his face looks so different. Jackson, look, Jackson. Jackson, Jackson, look. Look, he looks mean. Look, Jackson, look, Jackson. Look. He looks really mean. Look at his haircut. I don't know, she's trimmed his face a lot. And he just looks really mean. I know he'll grow back. Cal said to me he's going to grow back by next week. Or at least the week after. But I just find he looks really mean, Jackson. Look at the camera. Just doesn't look his normal cute face with all his hair. But anyway, I guess I'm going to have to live with it, right? But he's still very heavy. I don't really lift him up much because he thinks he's a big baby. Don't you? Don't you? He's looking down. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm going to put him out of the room now. He's going to be angry with me because he's been allowed to come in. So, all right. Say goodbye to everybody. Say goodbye, Jackson. Say goodbye. Say goodbye, Jackson. Say goodbye. Okay, fine. You look. Everybody's right there. Jackson. There. Look, see? Useless. All right. Sit. Good boy. You can watch me from right there. All right, so we're going to get back to what we were doing yesterday. It's the morning here. I think it's about 10:20 in the morning. 9:43. Completely wrong. Right, so we're going to get back to sewing the block together. I think yesterday I did twist one of the half square triangles around. So if you noticed that, well done to you. I looked at it, was it last night? I was flipping through the phone because obviously I took pictures, and I was like, oh, one of them is twisted. I was like, it's a good thing I didn't sew it together like that. So let me show it to you now properly before we sew it together. Or I may not actually, I just may start sewing. I am thinking of turning it into a table topper. I was thinking whether or not if I could make a quilt out of it or something bigger, probably make 2 blocks together. And no, you're not coming in. You staying right there. No. No. Because if you come in, you're going to go to the bin and it's going to be a struggle. Anything that drops on the floor, you're going to be rushing for it. No. And you're tiny. You can fit anywhere between here. I can't. No. That's as far as you go by the door. Sorry. You caused this. This is your fault. Alright, so that is what we're going to do. And yeah, so I was thinking of turning it into a table topper, table runner, but I'm not sure if I have enough of the scrap fabric to make, as I said yesterday. So I'll decide, or maybe leave it as a table topper and add some borders, which I think will look beautiful because the block is already big. It will make a really beautiful quilt very quickly. So even 4 blocks with a couple of borders, and you can add sashings in between with some cornerstones to make the actual quilt. And you could, I actually thought of using different colors for each of the Providence star. That would look beautiful too. So I will see where my mind goes. I am a little bit behind in adding a project on, because I do try to do 3 a week, and I think so far I've only done 1. Today's is Thursday and I only done 1 for the week. But sometimes quality is better than quantity, and I do like to bring you something good that, you know, that's informative and something that you feel inclined to make. So I may just post it as a table topper or as a block, or turn it into a quilt. I don't know. I already have what, 3 projects to quilt. So yeah, I'm a little bit behind. Don't want to add another one. We'll see. I might choose the easy way out and just go with the table topper, because that could be done by the end of the day and give it to you, and you can have the visualization. Or I could just give you the objective of making the plans in the pattern to make it into a quilt, which would probably be easier on my behalf. Alright guys, so let's get started. I'm going to sew this together and I'm going to present it to you, whether it may be a topper or something else. Let's get on with it. Alright guys, I wanted to show you something before I actually stitch this together. Excuse me. So what I wanted to demonstrate to you, or to point out, okay, let me just take a picture before I forget, because I'll put it in the pattern. Now, I use 2 different fabrics to make the whole quilt block. Okay, so for example, in these here, in the hourglasses, I use a sort of a, I don't know if you can make it out, but a pinkish floral with a white background. I also use that particular one here on the half square triangles, whereas this is a different, this is more white than anything else. All right. What I did notice as I was about to put the blocks together, because I accidentally turned it the other way around, meaning I turned, so let me show it to you. This is what it will look like with, excuse me, the more white background. Okay, this is what it's going to look like, which is what it should. All right, that is the beautiful block. You can see the star. I think I will raise the, hopefully you can make it out. All right, you can see the star coming out really beautifully. There is a little square there, or a diamond plus the square, and then you get another big X in the middle here. All right, but what I accidentally discovered is if I turn the block with that same pattern there in the middle, I get a different pattern altogether, with that particular cut of fabric, which changes the whole thing and makes it look really lovely. And I think I prefer this one. So I'm going to bring the camera closer to you so that you can make it out better. So this is what I discovered. Don't you see that beautiful circle in the middle there? Isn't that lovely? Beautiful, isn't it? All from just simply changing the orientation of the star legs. Beautiful block is actually made. So let me put it back the way it was. So all I did was just moved, changed it, and you can clearly see the star legs. So basically you have two layouts from this particular block, and I'm sure you will get a further secondary pattern once it's all sewn together. So that is your Providence star there. But remember, because I said this fabric here and the same one in the hourglass is the same print, turning it together gives it a very different outlook on the whole layout of the block. And I just wanted to point that out to you. Doesn't that look beautiful? Very nice. All right, guys. So I don't know what this block is called. I don't know. Probably we can come up with a name for it. But I like it. I really do. But because I've already told you we're making a Providence block, I will turn it back. But you got some options. Yeah, guys. I just thought I'll share that with you. And again, this is why I always say it's so good to play around with your blocks, because you never know what you may discover. Something completely different than what you were expecting. All right, so I'm going to sew it together. Beautiful. Love, love, love it, love it, love it. All right, so here is the completed product. Now this looks beautiful, guys. Imagine the secondary pattern. Imagine this being laid on point, what it would look like. Look at it on point. Beautiful. I think if I am making a quilt out of this, I will definitely lay them out on point. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Looks really nice. What I like about it is giving me Ohio quilt block vibes, you know, but absolutely gorgeous. So the Providence block measures 17 inches squared, and it'll make a very big quilt very quickly. I mean, 10, 12, and you're done. You don't even need borders with this. Very, very beautiful. Even if you do a 4 block with sashings, you get a nice lap size quilt, and you can stretch it to a throw size if you would like to. But it's lovely. The pattern details will be in the description box if you'd like to make it. And even a table topper, if you add on another 2 with some sashings in the middle again, you can make a beautiful table topper. You can make 2 the table topper, I should say. And if you want to make like a bed runner, definitely do about 3. Add some sashings, or even 4, and it'll make a beautiful bed runner. Very lovely. Very, very, really nice. All right, guys. So do like and subscribe for more. Share with me your feedback down below. What do you think of the block? I think it's come up really nicely. On the back, I've pressed everything lovely and flat. And to be honest, I pressed as I go. As I made 1 row, I pressed the seams. If I made the 2nd row, I pressed the seams, and so on and so forth. And then by the time I came to the front, it was already lovely and flat. Beautiful, nice. Everything meets, all the points meets really nicely. Easy, simplistic block to make. The details are nice and clear. And I do feel that you would enjoy making this one. I did put it together. When I made just half, what I did was take the other half and put it here. So the secondary pattern you will get is this particular pattern here. It will be a diamond, so it looks really nice. But what I'll do for the thumbnail, I would repeat it so that you can see what it looks like. All right, guys. So bye for now. Happy quilting, and I'll definitely see you in the next one. Jackson, you want to say goodbye? Jackson, where are you? Okay, I guess that means no. Jackson? What you been doing? I heard you running. Wait, that's enough. Thank you. What you been doing? Guys, you see how mean he looks? Jackson, why you look so mean? I don't like that haircut she's giving you. She's changed your whole appearance. Oi, don't you think so? I love your bushy tail, but I don't like what she's done to you. She's trimmed you. She's made you bald. Look at your mean face. Why you look so mean? I don't like the haircut. Grow back immediately. Swing. No, it didn't work that way, guys. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Happy quilting. Enjoy the blog. Let me hear your feedback down below.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wings.